Hello, everybody. This is John Meadows. I'm with Virtual Scholarship Fairs, and I do appreciate everybody joining us this evening. I would like to thank our panelists who are joining us this evening. It's Dr. Laura Dorsey, as well as George Winston and Kelsey from UNLV. Just wanted to give you a little background on what Virtual Scholarship Fairs is all about. It's really a new platform that's been developed to assist parents as well as students in their journey to college. And it's really focused on scholarship, how to get scholarship, various options for earning scholarship. And hopefully by the end of this evening, you'll learn a little bit more about the aspects of various different types of scholarships that are available other than just merit scholarships. This is a week-long series that's started last night and will be running through Sunday. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for the remaining programs that we have available for the rest of this week. And I would like to also thank Visit Days, which is the platform that we're using this evening. And you've signed in, registered, and are familiar with the platform. So we'll be learning quite a bit about various different resources we have available as well, beyond just what you're going to hear from Kelsey this evening. So I'm going to kind of briefly go through the agenda and give you an idea of what we're going to experience this evening, and hopefully keep it within an hour. But really the purpose of the program, again, is to help students get the best offers, at least one offer for scholarship. You know, that's really key. And how are you going to pay for college and various other needs that you're going to have through the college experience. Really focused on juniors, and hopefully if you're not a junior, you know students that will be coming on as juniors pretty soon, and you can guide them through the process as well based off what your learnings are. We will be broadcasting various programs throughout the year, with a big emphasis in the fall when students are really serious about applying to college and learning more about the different scholarship opportunities that might be available during the fall season. So let me get started, and wanted to kind of go through the agenda with you real quick. We're going to initially have a welcome message from our co-host, Dr. Laura Dorsey. She's Vice President of Mission and Engagement at Infant Scholars. And then she'll lead into the presentation from Kelsey Kaplan from UNLV. She has a great program to go over with you this evening, and then answer as many chat messages as possible in Q&A. We do have the assistance of George Winston from Washington University College at Washington University here to help us with the chat. He did a great job last night helping to guide the discussions that questions that students provided last night. And then Dr. Dorsey will come back on with additional resources that are available through Infinite Scholars and other avenues. And then like I said, we'll try to keep it within an hour and respect your time and try to get out of here by 8 o'clock Central. A couple of technical reminders: locate the chat icon in the bottom ribbon of your screen. When you chat, only the panelists will see your chat, so you don't have to worry about the messages going out to the entire audience. But the panelists will see your chat, and we will try to answer as many chats as possible. And we do have a chat Q&A right after the presentation, so we can answer your questions as soon as possible. And then if you could, close all browsers and tabs for best viewing. So there's probably not going to be any videos available tonight, but it does help to go ahead and close all your browsers and tabs for best viewing. Like I mentioned, we are honored to have George Winston, Director of Admissions from the University College at Washington University in St. Louis today, to help us with with the chat and guide us through that, and also provide his insights. He did a great job as far as providing his perspective on what students need to be prepared for, particularly as juniors, to get the best financial assistance as they can throughout the leading into their college years. And I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Dorsey. She's our co-host. She's Vice President of Admission and Engagement at Infinite Scholars. So take it away, Dr. Dorsey.
John, thank you so much for that fantastic introduction. I am so pleased to be here tonight with everyone. As John said, I am the Vice President of Mission and Engagement for Infinite Scholars. Infinite Scholars is a nonprofit organization, and we do one thing and we do one thing only. We help provide students the resources that they need for financial access to college and university post-secondary education. I have been with Infinite Scholars for a while. Infinite Scholars is about 20 years old, started in 2003, and so we're coming up on our 20th year here. And I've been with them since 2008. So been with them for a while. We facilitate scholarship fairs across the country in 33 cities across the country. And again, that's the only thing that we do. We help students find the financial resources that we need to be able to have scholarships. I am so glad to be the co-host tonight and being able to introduce our speaker this evening. Kelsey Kaplan is our speaker this evening. And one of the things that if you look at the topic that she's going to talk about, it's going to be about scholarships, but I want to talk to you a little bit about how she knows so much about scholarships. First of all, Kelsey is the Assistant Director of Recruitment for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. As she says, she is a desert baby. She's been there her whole entire life. But she's been with the university for about 5 years. But guess how she got with the university for 5 years? She's an alumni. So she knows everything there is to know about the university and about, in her particular position, about recruitment for college and about scholarships. So tonight she's going to be talking about private scholarships. A lot of times students will already know where they want to go. They're just looking for extra scholarship money. She's going to be talking about things like private scholarships. She's going to be talking about a little known, I think, history fact of micro scholarships. And then, of course, we know that, there's everything out there on the website. There's particular websites to be able to search for scholarships. So she's going to provide a wealth of information. So sit back, relax. Remember, this is being recorded, so you don't even have to take notes to be able to do that. So without further ado, I introduce to you Kelsey Kaplan. Good evening, Kelsey.
Thank you. I appreciate that warm welcome. Again, my name's Kelsey. I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share for you guys so I can get presenting. Are you able to see my screen?
Kelsey, we're not seeing anything yet. Kelsey, it says that you started sharing the screen, but we're not seeing anything. Okay, so we're having a few technical difficulties. We're waiting for Kelsey to come back on. Okay.
Yeah, I think she froze. Yeah.
Am I back now?
You're back now, Kelsey.
I don't know what happened. I just went to share my screen and everything just went away.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have frozen on you.
Thanks for your patience. If you wouldn't mind giving me the privilege to share screen now, I think since I jumped out, it lost it.
John, if you give Kelsey the ability to share screen again, make her another co-host.
Yeah, she's on.
Okay.
There you go. Now we got it.
Are you able to still hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay,
You're
good.
perfect.
Perfect, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all. My name again is Kelsey Kaplan. I am an assistant director here at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I was also a student here at UNLV myself, and wasn't too long ago, I feel like I was in your shoes going through the college search process. I'm going to teach you about searching for scholarships today and the importance of finding these while you're still in high school. Every year at this time of year working in the admissions field, I get tons of students who are ready to enroll at the institution, and they're always asking me, how, Kelsey, can I get more scholarship money? And my question is always, I really wish you'd have started looking for that scholarship money a little bit earlier than the last few months of your senior year. Scholarships are at their core free money awarded to students based on your performance. So even though winning scholarships is very competitive, it is something that you shouldn't be discouraged to do, because like I was just saying, as a really important thing to be able to get scholarships and help you to pay for your college when the time comes that you're actually looking to enroll in a university. So as I go through this, I'll be teaching you different ways about how you can earn scholarship money outside of the universities that you're applying to. First thing is I'm going to teach you 5 things you need to know about private scholarships. There is a lot of realities about competing for money. Obviously, there's a lot of students out there competing for money. So by you tuning into this session today and even just being here to learn about how to get scholarship money, I think you're already ahead of the game from a lot of students. So the first thing to talk about is full ride scholarships are extremely rare. This is something that a lot of students in high school, I think a lot of people hear about full ride scholarships, and a lot of students think that receiving a full ride scholarship is something that is commonly going to happen. The fact is that most students do not receive a full ride scholarship from the institution. A lot of the times students receive money, cumulative money from a lot of different places to help give themselves enough money to pay for their full bill for tuition. So like I said, a mere 0.3% of students receive a full ride to attend college. That doesn't mean you can't get enough money to attend college. There's just very few colleges and institutions that are going to award you a full ride scholarship. For example, here at UNLV, our students who are receiving full ride scholarships tend to be athletes, national merit finalists. So those are some of the students who can receive full rides, but again, that's very rare, and it's not something you want to depend on when you're looking for scholarships. Number 2 is that you should apply to less popular scholarships. I'm going to go over at the end here a lot of large organizations for scholarships, and we encourage you to look at those, but also take time to look for smaller organizations that have scholarships in your area. The less students you apply for against the scholarship, then obviously the more opportunities you're going to have to win. And then also a lot of students tend to apply for awards with high amounts, right? You see, oh, this scholarship for $10,000 Well, there's a lot more likely students applying for a $10,000 scholarship than maybe a $500 scholarship. And if you're willing to apply for more of those smaller scholarships, then you can get, the ability to add up your money and have more money to pay for college. The third thing is that some fields are more lucrative than others. Some fields have more scholarship opportunities than others do. So one survey showed that 23.2% of students in math and statistics majors earned a private scholarship, while only 9.5% of business majors won one. So even though you may not consider majoring in a STEM field, you may want to consider minoring in a STEM field. This is going to open the opportunity for you to apply again for more scholarships on having that curriculum at the university. If you are looking for scholarships in these fields, it's important that you're also doing well in those things so that your college GPA is showing that you're succeeding in your college major and that you're able to get those scholarships as well. You're going to often have better luck with local scholarship programs. So here in Nevada, we're fortunate to have the Public Education Foundation. There are likely similar organizations and foundations in the communities that you live in, the states that you live in, and you should talk to your guidance counselor about local scholarships that you might be available to apply for. Your college counselor at your local school is usually a big resource. And sometimes your high schools may even have a scholarship counselor specifically at your high school. So if you have a scholarship counselor at your high school, that's a really valuable person for you to establish a relationship with and be able to kind of work through, because they will send you different scholarship opportunities as they come. There are lots of listservs out there with scholarships. So if you are connected with your school counselor and you let them know you're looking for scholarships, then they're able to kind of help guide you and give you those things as well. And my fifth suggestion for you all for scholarships is to do some volunteer work to increase your chances to do scholarships. Getting involved and showing that you're passionate about an activity or about any type of service is going to be helpful when someone's looking at you to award you a scholarship. Sponsors want to see students who stick with something, and rather than just hop around to different various activities. You don't just want to check boxes. I think that's something that a lot of students in high school, you're going through, you're ready to graduate, and sometimes you're just thinking about checking off boxes, and that's not necessarily the way to think. As you're going into your college experience and you're growing into being a young adult, other people want to be able to see what your passion is and who you are as a person. So really finding out who you are and what you like, those are going to be things that'll help you to also just look for scholarships that are more in your field and more in the areas that you're passionate about. All right. So we're going to talk about two different types of scholarships. We're going to talk about primary scholarships that are built around 4 main criteria. And then we're also going to talk about special interest scholarships that are offered by smaller organizations and that are more focused on a large amount of students. All right, so as I said, we're going to talk about the primary scholarships. These are the big 4 that you probably hear a lot about when students are talking about getting scholarships, when you hear your peers talking about looking for scholarships. We have academics. So academics means how are you performing in the classroom? What do your grades look like? That is a big reason students can get scholarships. Obviously, if you have a really strong GPA and you've performed really well in the classroom, that'll help you to get more scholarships when it comes to the merit that they're being based on. Another thing that we look for, that scholarships can look for, is heritage. So does your ethnic background provide opportunities for scholarships? This one, career path, which is kind of something what I was just talking about. Are you excited about a certain profession that's high in need? Do you have a passion for a certain career path out there? And then institutional. Wherever you're going to college, wherever you're looking to go to college, do they offer unique scholarships that are open to students? So here at UNLV, we have our own institutional scholarships students are eligible for, and then we would encourage students to look for more of these scholarships so that they would be stackable, and you can continue to stack scholarships that come from different primary areas. One of the things we like to talk about when it comes to heritage scholarships is don't assume that you don't qualify for a heritage scholarship. Take a look at your family tree and really understand maybe some different heritages you might have that you might have not been necessarily exposed to. Talk to your families and look for scholarship organizations, because some only base their heritage off 1/8 or 1/16 of that ethnic background. So if you are still eligible to apply for those scholarships, then don't take yourself out of the running because you think, oh, I don't fit into that heritage, I shouldn't apply. If you have any heritage in that background, then we'd encourage you to look for those scholarships and apply for them still. So the 4 primary scholarship areas I was just talking about, I want to, before I jump into the special interest scholarships, also kind of really highlight our institutional scholarships. The institutional scholarships is something that, like I mentioned at the beginning, every year students come this time of year and they're looking for more scholarships because universities like University of Nevada, Las Vegas, large public state institutions, and even large private schools, they don't always have a ton of funding to give every student scholarships. So if you're not receiving scholarships through the institution, sometimes you won't even recognize that until this time of year. So if this time of year comes around and you're a senior and the schools you've applied for haven't awarded you any scholarships, then these are the other things you really want to be looking at so you still get scholarships. And that's where I'm going to continue to talk about your special interest scholarships. Special interest scholarships can be grouped into a variety of large categories, and you need to cast a wide net and be creative. So I'm going to talk to you more about these and how you can look for other scholarships. First is your geographical location. Like I mentioned earlier, many cities, communities, and states offer local scholarships for their students who live in those states. Also, sometimes scholarships will be offered for students whose families live in a certain state. So if you have parents who maybe you're living in one state and then you have a parent who's residing in another state and you're looking to go to college in that state, continue to look for scholarships in both of those states and those local communities. Another thing is that once you get to an institution and you're enrolled in that institution, you can also look for scholarships in their local. So for example, we have the Public Education Foundation here in Nevada. For our students who come to UNLV and they are now UNLV students, they can also look in the Public Education Foundation to see if there's scholarship opportunities for them. Even though I talk a lot about your high school guidance counselor and looking for local scholarships in high school, continue to look for these local scholarships while you're in college as well. A lot of students think that they can only receive scholarship money when they're in high school, and then that's what they get when they come to college. But there's a lot of misconceptions with that because there's a lot of money that you can apply for when you're a current college student as well. And those fit into these categories I'm talking about. Another one is religious affiliation. A lot of churches and organizations offer scholarships as well. So if you belong to a church or if you belong to a religious organization, I encourage you to talk to the religious leaders, talk to their organization, to their national office, and see if they have scholarships that you can also apply for. And one of the things that's really important that's mentioned in here is, in addition to the standard internet search, I think that is a really important thing to note for students right now is we live in a really digital space and there's just a lot of resources on the internet, but that does not mean that you shouldn't talk to people and ask people about scholarships. If you have a parent who works for a certain employer, you should ask them to talk to their employer about scholarships. And if they offer scholarships for students, we have all of these list of employers. You can see all these logos, Apple, Chevron, McDonald's, Walgreens. A lot of these large organizations or corporations, they offer scholarships as well. So talk to your parents. If you have a job at any of these places, talk to them. Some of the employers offer benefits for students who are in college, and it'll help you pay for college too. So it doesn't hurt to give a call and reach out to the Human Resources Department to see if they offer scholarships for you to go to school. And again, they can be small, but sometimes the smaller scholarships are better to go for. The smaller scholarships do add up. So the more scholarships you apply for that are small, could get you, money back eventually from the institution too. Scholarships for women. So millions of dollars are allocated each year to scholarships for women specifically. Research has shown that women are more likely to graduate from college, launch nonprofit organizations, and start successful businesses. There is a lot of support for women in college. So looking for scholarships for women, also looking for scholarships specifically for women through those organizations. So again, these scholarships can just become even funneled smaller and smaller as you're looking into certain organizations and seeing what scholarships they may specifically offer. Looks like a great question came in. Are there scholarships for immigrants or undocumented students? Yes, so you should, when you're looking for scholarships, there is going to be a question. It'll ask you if you're eligible to file a FAFSA. If you're not eligible to file a FAFSA, then you would want to contact the scholarship organizer to see if there's an additional opportunity for you to apply for that scholarship without a FAFSA. The FAFSA is the big thing that students who are undocumented or immigrant students are unable to complete. As long as the scholarship organization doesn't require that FAFSA on file, then you should still be able to apply for those scholarships. Again, this brings me back to the importance of talking to people and really just asking questions when you have them. If you have a college counselor, talk to your college counselor about different organizations that they know of that offer scholarships to undocumented and immigrant students. Also, when you're applying to certain institutions, look at those institutions and see if they have a separate process. Here at UNLV, we have an alternate need process for students applying for scholarships who cannot file a FAFSA. So it's important to do that research and ask those questions so that you can apply for the ones that you are eligible for. It's a really great question. If there's any other questions, definitely keep them coming. All right. So I'm sure that in your journey to go into college, you've already considered doing volunteering or doing community service at a local organization. This is really important because, as I was saying earlier, students who get involved, students who want to give back to their communities, there are a lot of organizations who also want to give to those students, so you have the ability to give back. AmeriCorps is a organization that provides educational awards to be used towards tuition and other expenses. There's other organizations in hospitals, nursing homes, veterans, and other, like I said, community organizations that want to give out these scholarships based with community service. Again, don't just do community service just to do community service. Take the time to think about what your interests are and where your passion lies. So as you are applying for colleges and you're applying for scholarships, that those people know that that is actually what you're interested in. And again, those are going to be things that are more likely to earn you the scholarship. When you show that you're passionate about something, you're much more likely to earn that scholarship than a student who is just saying they did these things just because. Those things do come out in your essays. They come out in your voice when you're, writing and you're submitting scholarship essays. So really take those things into consideration. I can't stress that enough. I'm going to talk about some scholarship programs as well. So these are very specific scholarship programs. These are things that I would recommend when we're done with the session today. You do have this pre-recorded, that these are the websites you're going to. These are the things you're checking out to go back and view those scholarships. So the Bonner Scholars, they are one of the largest programs. They run directly through participating universities. So you need to see if the university participates in these scholar programs. So there are national scholarship programs that universities essentially get involved with, and then they help to offer those programs. So these programs may not be offered through every university you're applying to. And that's also why it's important as you're looking at universities you're applying to narrow down your list of what institutions do I want to go to? And of those institutions, what organizations do they participate in that I can also apply for through scholarships? We were just talking about undocumented students. There is a really great program. It's the Dream, I'll find the exact name of it, but it's the Dream Scholars, and it's a national organization that gives out scholarships to undocumented students. We are a partner here at UNLV with that organization. So finding out what colleges you even want to go to, where is a good fit for you, and then what other scholarship programs are going to be eligible for me in that school that I can also apply for. RaiseMe is one of the example. Raise.me is a micro scholarship program. You may have heard of micro scholarship programs. They are kind of up and coming, and there's something you should enroll in early. So when I say at the beginning of my presentation, every year someone goes, Miss Kelsey, what can I do to get more scholarships? And these are the things you can do to get more scholarships. Enroll in something like Raise.me as early as your 9th grade year to start earning scholarships. For example, you can earn $400 for getting an A in a course, and you submit these things, and then you earn money over the course of your high school career. And then you can send that money basically to institutions for scholarships when you graduate. Another big thing with understanding with micro scholarships and all these scholarships that you receive is understanding how the institution you are applying to and attending accepts private scholarships. So these scholarships are all considered private scholarships from an institution. So it's important that you are able to communicate with the institution you're going to determine how these private scholarships will get added to your account when you are a student at that institution. Rewards programs allow you to earn scholarships dollars when you and your parents make purchases. So similar to kind of like a credit card rewards process. One of the largest rewards program is called UPromise by Sallie Mae. UPromise members accrue account credit on eligible purchases from grocery stores and online retail, travel and restaurants, and you can direct your earnings into a high yield saving account or a tax deferred 529 plan. So these are a lot of words that you might be like, I'm not sure. If you're a parent listening, you are probably familiar with a 529 plan. If this is something you want to start getting access to, I'd encourage you to check out the UPromise program and you can start putting those in your high yield savings account, and also just learn more about those if you have questions about those as well. All right, so there are a lot of websites to search for scholarships. At any time, there's a lot of information on the internet. So it's really important that when you are doing research for scholarships, that you are aware of any scholarship scams and that you're going to good websites that are going to provide you good scholarship programs. And also just, again, talking to your counselors, talking to organizers, people who are helping you go through this college process to make sure those scholarships you're applying for don't look fishy. If something looks weird, you should definitely talk to somebody before you apply for it. No scholarship should ever ask you to pay for them, to apply for them, or things like that. FastWeb is one of the longest standing scholarship search engines around. Fastweb.com. Again, it's a big website. So try to find local organizations' websites that you can also look for scholarships on, because you might not find everything on FastWeb. Sallie Mae has a great scholarship database as well. You can go onto the Sallie Mae website and look for scholarship services. And then bigfutures.collegeboard.org/college search is another search engine where you can look for scholarships. I can't stress enough the importance of organizing yourself throughout the college search. As I'm going through this presentation and as I've been talking to you guys for the last 25 minutes, I think that it's overwhelming. There's a lot of different places out there There's a lot of organizations, there's a lot of different types. And the best thing you can do is really sit down with yourself and make a list of the things you're interested in, make a list of the schools you're interested in, and really start to understand what scholarships are good for you to apply for, what colleges are good for you to apply for, and how those things are going to match up so that you can finance your college the best way you can. These are some of the more generous scholarship award programs that I was talking about earlier when I was saying there's really big name scholarship programs. And they may offer really large scholarships, maybe like a $10,000 scholarship that you can receive. And again, those students may have more students applying for them, but that shouldn't discourage you. You should still apply for all the scholarships you're interested in. Students receive thousands and thousands of dollars of scholarships every year. Students receive enough scholarship money to receive money back from institutions to pay for books, to study abroad, to live on campus. So I really encourage you to understand the importance of scholarships and paying for college at a young age, and not just, at the end of your senior year when you're getting ready to enroll in an institution. Take the time now to make lists and to start applying for these scholarship programs, and talk to your counselors and the people that are in your network to help you to do these scholarship applications. Something that I was recommended one time too was just to have scholarship parties. If you have a group of friends in high school, you guys hang out, right? You do fun stuff. Have someone organize a scholarship party. Invite everyone to your house and say, we're going to apply for these scholarships today. Make it fun and make it a competitive thing to, with your friends to earn scholarship money. Great question about test scores, ACT or SAT determine eligibility for scholarships. This is a really big question as COVID has happened over the last few years and the talks of the SAT and ACT going away. Every institution and every scholarship organization is going to award their scholarships differently. So some institutions may consider your GPA. Other institutions may consider your GPA and your test scores. It really depends on the college you're applying to. And that's important for you to, again, make those lists of the colleges you're applying to and finding out what their requirements are for those scholarships. And then also when you're applying to organizations, seeing what their requirements are outside of just your GPA and merit. I will say a lot of scholarship organizations don't necessarily require SAT or ACT. But if you can take an SAT or ACT and have that, it's always helpful to have those additional test scores as well. Again, very good questions. Please keep them coming if you guys have any more. The final reminder for this session is to check out the Infinite Scholars Program Scholarship Guide for more information. The Infinite Scholars is a great place to check out scholarships and get more information. And you can go and click on the resources tab on the Infinite Scholar website. I hope that you learned a lot about scholarships today. Again, there's a lot of scholarships out there. There's a lot of opportunities, and it all starts with you. Nobody else can get you that scholarship money. No one else is going to give you all that scholarship money without you applying for it. So take the time over the summer to really, make your action plan on how you're going to apply for scholarships and how you're going to finance your college. And it also helps your parents too, right? They're happy when you get scholarships, that helps them help you. So I'm here for any questions. We're all here for questions if you have them. I hope you found this session enjoyable today. I hope you'll go on and apply for more scholarships and attend some of the other Infinite Scholar sessions that are being offered this week.
Kelsey, thank you so much for all of that wealth of information on scholarships. Even I learned a few things that I didn't know throughout your presentation. So George, I just want to be able to add on there. You've been on the chat, seen some of the chat questions. You've been at this industry for a while now too. Any thoughts or any questions, especially when it comes to the specialty scholarships that like Kelsey that was talking about? And
Dr.
Kelsey,
Dorsey,
Kelsey, you
Dr.
can start
Dorsey,
this
a great job.
share.
Kelsey, great job. Great, outstanding job for the presentation. I think you really hit a home run today. When I was just listening to the information that was being shared, things that came to mind, I think Kelsey really hit the point at the very end of her presentation. It's really up to the student. They have to start that process, and they need to start that process as early as possible. Don't wait till the very last minute. Start visualizing what programs, what types of scholarships. I think the point that Kelsey made very early in the presentation of trying to apply for maybe smaller awards. If you apply for 10 awards that have $1,000 and you receive each one, that's $10,000. It's just as good as a large $10,000 award. And as she stated, awards in your local community could be a much easier to receive than a regional or national award as well. The specialty scholarships, there was a lot to unpack there. I think that students will really want to begin to start having those conversations, not only with their teachers, their counselors, also their parents, about what types of awards they should be looking for. But I think the most important thing that I thought that she shared is in regards to the activities of being involved. I know when I was working with traditional age students, one of the things that I really hone in on is if a student is really actively involved in that organization, or were they just trying to fill out a resume. So I was looking to find out if a student was taking on leadership roles, and then what type of roles, how long they've been involved in the organization, what they were doing within the community, and how were they trying to have an impact. I really was trying to shy away from just the students so I could just see that, hey, I was involved just in this organization for a year and then jumped to something else, and really didn't have a connection with that organization. I really wanted student leaders on my campus. I wanted those students who were going to impact not only because of their academic background, but because of their service background, because those are the students who I think really do take on the heart and the culture of the campus. And those are the types of students I really wanted to have at my institution.
Okay. George, thank you so much for that. Kelsey, any final words before we go into some of the additional resources that we have to offer from University of Phoenix? Sometimes when I get done with my presentation, I was like, I should have said one more thing. So this is your time to do your one more thing.
I feel like we got it. I think that's it. Apply for scholarships, you guys. That's it.
Okay. All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if I can add one of the things to everything that both Kelsey and George have said, time management is so important for students. Okay. If you put together a plan or a schedule, I'll tell a student, you all talked about starting early, every week, just apply for one, every 2 weeks, just apply for one, but put a schedule out, put a time schedule out in your phone, in your planner, or whatever, to making sure that you apply for them. And, to say what, to piggyback on what both of them have said, one of the students that I mentored, we talked about this whole thing. Her mother just let us know she got 7 of the $1,000 scholarships that we have been looking at. And she's like, it was just as easy as applying, because those were the scholarships that no students had applied to. And they were ecstatic about that additional $7,000 that they weren't looking for just because they had applying, but they followed the plan, and every week they were applying for 1 or 2 of those $1,000 or $500 scholarships to be able to do there. So it's all a win-win situation, and you both were just spot on what we're telling the students on. And with the Raise Me, Kelsey, you put that down there. Students can start as early as 9th grade. You know that you want to go to college. You know that that's what the plan is. Start earlier, and if you can start while you're still in school, being able to look at getting any more money, that's just a win-win situation. I think every parent that has a 9th grader should be looking at that Raise.me platform being able to take a look at that. But so thank you both so much for this. Let me go into some of the additional resources that we have to offer with university, with Infinite Scholars being able to do that. So John, if you'll bring up my slides here for me. Okay, so as I said, I am the Vice President of Mission and Engagement for Infinite Scholars. And as the Vice President, we want to make sure that our students are engaged as possible. And so in order to do that, if you visit our website, www.infinitescholar.org, and George will put that in the chat to make sure that you have the correct website. We have what we printed together as a scholarship guide. So if you look at if you go to our website, under resources, because remember, this is what we do. We're talking about resources. There's a scholarship guide. So if you click on scholarship guide for me. Okay, and this is what the scholarship guide looks like. Now, if you actually attend one of our fairs, you'll get a physical scholarship guide in your hand. But what the scholarship guide is, that is 40 pages of information that's chock full of information that's going to help you do scholarships. As you can see on the cover, graduating with debt-free, helping pay for college, how to find different things in college, being able to take a look at that. But some other topics that are included in the scholarship guide: information on the federal grant program. We just got finished talking about grants, free money that you don't have to pay back. One of the things that we learned last night, and Kelsey's emphasized again, is that there's city and tuition free options. There are free options for students looking to be able to go to college. There are some colleges that what you can absolutely do is go to school absolutely for free. So the information about that is there. Working your way through college is some of the things that we're talking about, that Kelsey talked about, through service, but also through service, working your way through college, internships, college, programs. Check with your financial aid office, because those are the people who have emphasis and information on how to work your way through college and what they have to offer at that particular college or university. Okay. If you're paying through college for service, one of the things that we're going to have, one of the nights this week, and John's going to talk about it a little bit later, is that through service, I have a daughter that is prior military, and this is how she paid for her college education. But you can also pay for college through service, depending on what major you're looking at. There's several programs or whatever that will help you pay for college after you get out of student loans, if you're going into teaching and education. So you're going to hear about those later on this week. Again, you've heard about the micro scholarships. If you didn't get all the information that Kelsey shared with you, you've got to get more information in the scholarship guide here about the micro scholarship options. Need-based and special interest scholarships that she's talked about. One of the things that we've done in our scholarship guide is that we've helped you out with that. We have a list of scholars, and I think there's like 2 pages in the scholarship guides, where we've done the research for you. We went out and found the scholarships. We'll tell you exactly what the scholarship is, how much they offer, how many scholarships they give away, and the actual website that you can actually go to. Okay, so this guide is a wealth of information. So as you work in your plan to get started, this guide is one place you can go get started and immediately start applying for scholarships. Some scholarships require an essay, and so there's some tips in here about how to write a winning scholarship essay, but you're going to hear some additional tips later on this week about making sure that you can do great scholarship essays. One of the things that we've talked about, and every single person that's on these panels this week will tell you, that writing is so fundamental, and essays for colleges that are so fundamentals, and how this is a win-win situation for students. One of the other things that you're going to find in the guide is how to avoid scholarship scams. We do know, we see it on the news constantly, and if you're not a news junkie like me, you'll be able to see, hear it on the news about all the things that are people trying to do to be able to take people's money to be able to apply for scholarships. If someone says that you need to pay them to help you apply for scholarship, that is absolutely one of the biggest things that's a scam. And this, there's a page in the guide that'll help you out with that. Okay.
Dr. Dorsey,
Yes.
we had a quick question and was asking, can the scholarship guide be downloaded from the Infinite Scholar website?
Absolutely, it can. The same place that you're going to resources, go to scholarship guide, and that can be downloaded, you know, so that you have access to it too. Absolutely. Go to the resources, go to scholarship guide, and just like you pulled it up and you saw it, you can hit download and you can have access to every single thing that's there. Okay. Thank you, George. Okay. And so in addition, with a lot of my students, I'm a university professor, and I found out that a lot of my students are more visual than auditory. A lot of people auditory, they will listen to a lecture, you know, or listen to a presentation like you just got with Kelsey. You know, some of them were kinesthetic and they want something in their hands, you know, the whatever that they can actually touch and feel, but some of them are actually visual. And so to be able to do that, we put together some videos that were here on our website for people that are visual. One of the biggest visuals that we put down was our college videos library. In our college video library, we have more than 100 colleges. And what we've done is that we created short videos for them to watch. We a few years back, went to the colleges and asked them, tell me about your admissions process. Tell me about your scholarship opportunities. And what we did is that we recorded all of that. And so all of that is here. There are 100 colleges in here to be able to do that. Information is also provided on how you can schedule a one-on-one session. You know, that the information is there, but the college reps are also thought that it was important that you knew how to get in touch with them. We all know that in the perfect world, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And with this particular information, you're able to get in touch with a college rep to talk specifically about what it is that you're looking for and the opportunities that you will have. The colleges are listed here. We love all of our colleges and we couldn't figure out how to list them. So we just decided that we were going to arrange them in alphabetical order. As you can see, we'll start out with the first one there. It's Alabama A&M University. It will tell you exactly where it is. It will give you a brief little paragraph about the university, but you also see it says to schedule a one-on-one contact Courtney Smith. Yeah, and it gives you the email address to be able to, and the website to be able to contact Courtney. You can click on there also to be able to watch the video. You can do this for 100 colleges and universities. So again, a little bit of time management, you know, just 1 or 2 a week or whatever will get you through, you know, the next couple of months, being able to go to a lot of different colleges and universities to be able to do that. There's also topics when we're talking about scholarships. Again, my students that are visual, they like the little snippets and videos, especially in this new social media age, being able to take a look at that. So several different topics, we went and found videos for you for those too. So if you click on topic video on that same resources tab, okay, one of the things that it was, there's a brief video, and all of these videos are 3 to 5 minutes. They are not long at all, so you can just click through pretty most of them already. The FAFSA overview, everyone will tell you that the FAFSA is important for completing that. There's an overview on that. Okay, whether or not you should test the benefits of ACT and SAT testing is there. Christina does a great job on this one. There's multiple different types of federal student aid. Again, the federal government is the largest, you know, producer of financial aid money. They have billions of dollars that they give out every year, and there's different types of them. And so there's a video showing you that. Okay. Kelsey talked about the websites. And so here, there's some videos explaining a couple of those websites that you could use to look for private scholarships, in addition to everything that you'll know. One of the things that we talked about last night is that there are over 4,000 colleges and universities. Guess what? If there are 4,000 colleges and universities and you multiply the scholarships by that much, there's an abundance of scholarship information out there. One of the key things is that so much money actually goes unused every year because students do not know where to apply and they don't look where to apply. So the websites will help you out with that. Making sure you understand scholarship displacement. So you have to know exactly what schools, what scholarships that your college will accept and which ones won't, which ones, sometimes they'll think one is greater than the other and they'll dismiss the smaller one. So you need to make sure that you talk with your financial aid office. Next to your admissions counselor, your financial aid officer should be your best friend the entire time that you're in school. Making sure that you borrow responsibly. Sometimes if you want to go to a particular school and you don't have scholarships to cover everything, you may have to have a small amount of debt. Please don't worry about that. Don't let that dissuade you, because you're going to have a career when you get done that small amount of debt is going to be paid for. And so we want you to make sure that you borrow responsibly for that. One of the other things is that most students will go directly to a university, but don't discount the benefits of going to a community college first and getting some of those undergraduate lower classes paid for, at a very, very much discounted rate. I know that that's how I started going to college. And so, and a lot of people that I know started that same way too, and then was able to transfer to a four-year university. So you'll be able to take a look at that. In addition to all of those videos, the recordings this week are also going to be on the topic video. So you'll be able to go out there and look for the recordings this week. Infinite Scholars is also partnering with another organization called More College Offers. It's called that because there are more offers for you to be able to go to college, and we want to make sure you have the best resources possible. When I tried to figure out who's the best person to talk about that, I went back to John Meadows, who is in charge of this great platform. So John, can you tell our students and family that's on site more about More College Offers?
I certainly can. Thank you very much, Dr. Dorsey. I really appreciate your programming tonight. And George, always a pleasure. Really appreciate your insights. And Kelsey, thank you very much for your program. Is very helpful, and I learned a lot as well. You really hit it out of the park, as they say. So thank you very much. And just to give you a little background on More College Offers. We started this program. It's an online website, morecollegeoffers.com, and it's really designed to help students connect with colleges. And it's a little on the reverse side, where you basically go in, enter your information into More College Offers, and it's a big search engine. And we have over 500 colleges on the platform that are scrubbing the information, looking for students that they're looking, they're wanting to connect with. So it's a great program. It's free to students to participate. So I really recommend you to go on and tell your friends. It's a great opportunity for you to connect with colleges they maybe haven't thought about. There's some colleges that you maybe haven't considered that you just weren't aware of, and that have some great opportunities for you, great culture, and some great opportunities that you haven't really considered. So just go on to morecollegeoffers.com. And all the colleges are listed in a directory there by state as far as the ones that are participating in the program. So once you enter your information, you'll be sent an email to set your password. It's very private. You don't have to worry about getting your information compromised at all. And you go in, set your password, and then complete your profile. And the key there too is to keep your profile updated, because things change over time. And you might decide you want to go to a different state or look at different colleges, and you might your grades change, your interest change. So make sure that your profile is always updated, because the colleges will search the information as they need to, and will find students that hit the specific parameters and characteristics that they're looking to recruit at that time. And then what they will do is reach out to you through their normal communications, and ask for you to connect with them and learn a little bit more about what your interests are. So again, it's a great program, free of charge, and it's really a great opportunity to get your information out to over 500 colleges that are really looking for students that have similar interests to what they're looking for. So anyway, if you have any questions, just drop us a chat, and we can answer your chat on More College Offers as well. I wanted to segue into the rest of the programming for this week. Again, it's a 7-day program, entire week, all the way through Sunday. And I wanted to kind of cover the topics that we're going to be covering tomorrow. So you're certainly welcome to come back, and all of our videos that we're recording this week will be posted not only on the Infinite Scholars resources page, but also the Visit Days site that you registered through here. You just go down to the organizations on the tab on the left side of your screen whenever you go to the Visit Days homepage, and where you went to the stage and various other information sites or tabs on the site. Go to organizations, and there are 3 booths there. One of them's for Infinite Scholars, one of them's for More College Offers, and the other's for the virtual scholarship fairs. And we will be posting the videos on virtual scholarship fairs as well as Infinite Scholars resources page. So great opportunity. You'll probably see these videos broadcast throughout the year. We're really proud of the content that we're developing. It's very helpful, and we want to try to get it out to as many people as possible. And please tell your friends to visit the site as well, because they can access the information. But on Wednesday, the topic is going to be paying for college through service and or working your way through college. So that's a great opportunity. We'll have a representative from Florida that will be one of the universities in Florida, be talking about ROTC. Army ROTC is an option, as well as other military service options that are available to pay for college. There's a lot of money that's available through military service programs. Thursday, we're going to be talking about test scores, and they do matter specifically for scholarships. Learn how to improve test scores. We'll give you some tips on that, and some resources to help you with test scores. You can take your test multiple times, so make sure that you try to get as high a score as you can on your test, because that can make thousands of dollars of difference in the amount of money that you're awarded by the different universities. On Friday is how to write a winning scholarship essay, and that's very important. Last night, Jay Goff mentioned the importance of essays. They really do read these, and they actually at George Washington University have 3 people that read each one, just to kind of make notes and compare perspectives on the character and the involvement, social. George mentioned getting involved in a lot of social activities and outside school, as well as in-school leadership positions. The essays really do make a difference. So we'll give you some tips on how to write a winning scholarship essay. Saturday, how to avoid scholarship scams and watch out for scholarship displacement. That's a big one. Laura mentioned that a little bit earlier. And then Sunday, we'll wind up how to save thousands by starting at community college. I can speak for that for myself. I went to 2 years of community college and transferred to a 4-year and came out debt free. So it's a great program. I was able to stay at home and, you know, saved a lot of money through the worked and, you know, just kind of paid my way through. But it's a great program if it's an option for you to go to community college first. So just wanted to recap and thank our panelists. Kelsey did a great job. Thank you very much. George, always a pleasure. Any insights you can give us on that? I'll turn it over to Dr. Dorsey and just kind of close out. So Laura, you want to close out for us?
Okay. Yes, thank you all, everyone, for attending tonight. We hope that we provided you with a plethora of information. Again, I wanted to thank my co-panelist, George Winston, is here. He'll, as the comedian say, he'll be here all week with me for most of it. Kelsey, thank you again. Again, you provided a wealth of information. If you can teach people who have been in the industry for years, you know, some valuable information, I know that it was valuable for our students and their parents too. So thank you very much. We would thank with everybody that's been involved in this program for putting this together. Again, if you think that this was fantastic, look forward to tomorrow and the rest of the week. We've got more information. 60 seconds. George, Kelsey, anything that you want to say that I haven't mentioned before?
I can't think of anything, Dr. Dorsey. Great job tonight. Great job, Kelsey.
Okay. All right. Thank you all both very much. Okay. And again, thank you to our audience participating. This, of course, will be recorded and be out on our resources tab, so you'll be able to get a copy of it. Thank you all, and I wish you all a good night.